From Recorded Future News and PRX, this is Click Here. If you've bought a car in the last few years, chances are it has a touchscreen.
Your touchscreen works much like a smartphone. State of charge and current speed show at the top, as does the detected speed limit of the road you're on.
Almost every new car has one. And it's not just screens anymore. Cars have added all sorts of other features.
I don't know how necessary these are, but if you're into massages,
the massage is really, really good. I really enjoy this massage. Now to the infotainment. It's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto.
We forget how quickly our cars have evolved. Not long ago, navigation meant a clunky GPS device that you bought and then stuck on the dashboard with a suction cup.
Now we flipped a little antenna up and I pushed this button. Originally these cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and like all technology, it's gotten so cheap that now anybody can have one for $500 or $1,000.
That was in 2002. Today, the map comes built into the dashboard because we expect our vehicles to be smarter than they used to be, to update themselves, to download apps, even learn our habits. And sometimes that makes them vulnerable.
People, they want new features. They want the sexy new biometric car thing, where as soon as it sees my face, it knows how I like the temperature. It knows how tall I am, so it'll automatically adjust. But, it's kind of a trade-off. It's a never-ending battle between, convenience and cool features versus cybersecurity.
I'm Dina Temple-Raston, and this is Click Here. We tell true stories about the people making and breaking our digital world. On Tuesday, we brought you the story of a Volvo software update gone wrong and the digital risks we sign up for when cars become computers on wheels. Today, we continue that conversation with Kamel Ghali, a white hat car hacker in Japan whose origin story actually starts here in the US with a simple slice of pizza. Stay with us. Kamel Ghali was always a tech kid, the one taking things apart just to see how they worked. And growing up outside of Detroit, he never imagined he'd be hacking cars for a living. Back then, he wanted to be a doctor.
Go to medical school and then work in robotic prosthetics. This was my original career plan at the ripe age of 19 years old.
In 2017, he was a junior at the University of Michigan in Dearborn, studying computer engineering. And then came this day that changed everything.
We had a new dean of the computer and electrical engineering department. And he was holding a short, get-together for the students, to talk about his plans on how he plans to change the curriculum, things about accreditation, all this stuff. Kind of boring, not going to lie, but they're giving away free pizza.
Free pizza. That's how these things start.
So I go, and, I'm sitting there enjoying some cheese pizza in the front row, and the guy is talking about how, graduates from our school, they go on to work in all sorts of places in the world. Like we have some graduates working.
During the Q&A, a student behind him mentioned an internship in Japan. So Kamel wiped his hands, turned around, and asked, "What internship?"
And he tells me, yeah, I'm working for a startup. We're specializing in cybersecurity for the automotive industry. We're working on making technology that helps prevent cars from being hacked. And my brain just kind of exploded. I was like, what do you mean hacking cars? That doesn't make any sense. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh my God, self-driving cars. That's a thing that people are talking about. Oh my God. And it just kind of clicked. I was like, wait, that's horrifying. I was like, oh my goodness. What happens if the computer controlling the car gets hacked?
He went home and fell down a rabbit hole. Stories about white hat hackers who'd taken control of a Jeep, cranking up the radio, blasting the AC, even putting a picture of themselves on the dashboard screen.
And it just kind of blew my mind. I was totally out of my depth, but I basically begged this company to give me an internship, and they did. I had decided, med school is not happening. This is what I want to do. I suspect the kid who got me that job was also there for free pizza.
He moved to Japan in 2020, and he's been there ever since.
As far as my day job goes, I'm the chief operating officer of Kage Corporation and the director of automotive cybersecurity at Akatsuki, another new nonprofit organization that we started here in Japan, not only for automotive security, but for cybersecurity awareness and education in general, and helping to support the need for hackers in society.
And that need is real and growing.
So the bad news is there's very many different what we call damage scenarios that you can actually put into effect as an attacker, like eavesdropping or taking pictures of someone's home or stealing their contacts from the head unit. So those things are theoretically possible, right? Anybody who tells you that any system is perfectly secure and will never ever be hacked, this person is lying. People discover vulnerabilities in software and libraries and systems, every day.
But there's some good news too. The field of automotive cybersecurity is no longer niche. Car companies are hiring white hats like Kamel to find bugs before criminals do.
There really has not been a lot of, automotive cybercrime. The reason for that is that when you think about like the absolute worst case scenario, God forbid, someone hacks a car or multiple cars and causes them to crash into a building, commits an act of terrorism or an assassination, God forbid. Like these are like theoretically very real possibilities.
Though for now, the most terrifying scenarios, things like mass hacks and swarm attacks, still belong to Hollywood. Like the iconic scene in Leave the World Behind, that 2023 apocalyptic thriller about a mysterious cyber attack that cripples modern society. In the movie, Teslas had gone rogue.
You see anyone?
There's nobody here.
Hey, someone's coming.
Clyde, get in the car!
What are you doing? Should we flag them down? Maybe they know something.
There's no one in that car!
Practically very difficult, but still theoretical.
These days, the motivation is still something a little more basic.
From the perspective of a criminal, people want to make money.
So, the hacks so far
are mostly related to vehicle theft, because it's the easiest way to turn that exploit into some money.
But even those thefts can be shockingly low-tech, like the so-called Kia Boys phenomenon, a TikTok trend that morphed into a crime wave.
And watch this shit. Ready? Fire in the hole. No problem. No security light, nothing. Crazy, right?
A certain range of model years of vehicles produced by Kia were just overly easy to steal.
Break a window, climb in, then plug a USB drive into the steering column.
Now here's the thing. The data on the USB drive doesn't matter. You hear about it and you're like, oh my God, what kind of exploit? They got some malware on the... No. It's literally just the shape of the USB port is the right shape to fit in the hole.
Which sounds crazy, I know, but it turns out those cars were missing immobilizers, the system that checks if your key fob is inside.
It's like when you buy like the ADT sign and you stick it in your yard, but you don't actually pay for ADT or whatever the security company is. It's kind of the same thing. Okay, well, everyone assumes there's an immobilizer. We can save money by not actually putting in an immobilizer.
Kia eventually offered steering wheel locks and free software updates. Then there was the headlight hack.
A group of thieves actually realized that, hey, we can approach this vehicle from the outside, actually physically unplug the headlight, take a piece of hardware that we disguise as Bluetooth speakers. They'll just unplug the headlamp, plug this in instead, and you're off to the races.
In some cars, the headlight was on the same network as the key fob. So if you plug into the wiring behind the headlights, you could essentially impersonate the smart key and start the car.
This left headlight is on the same network as the smart key device. So that's exactly why this attack was possible. These kinds of principles that have been commonplace in information security in the IT industry for years now just didn't really occur when designing this vehicle's in-vehicle network environment.
The Center for Auto Safety says the U.S. needs tougher laws around vehicle software design and testing, especially rules to keep signals from crossing. Kamel agrees because an industry can't really police itself. Though, he says, car makers are learning fast. That's when we come back. Stay with us. Car software rules vary by country. In the US, they focus mainly on national security and supply chains. Just last year, the Commerce Department finalized a new rule. Starting with the model year 2027, automakers must limit their use of car software and hardware from China and Russia. But that still leaves a cybersecurity gap. Japan and Europe require incident response plans and software support for the life of a car. But the United States doesn't right now, though Kamel hopes that'll change.
Over the last few years, the automotive industry has come around to cybersecurity testing. You have to be responsible for this vehicle's cybersecurity and updating its software for so on and so forth. And this will be different from country to country based on like the laws and the way they implement it. But point is, the industry is taking it very seriously.
Consider Rivian, an ambitious premium electric vehicle startup.
Rivian cybersecurity operations really includes 4 different functions. We have our corporate cybersecurity team, our cybersecurity operations center, followed by our detection and response team, and also our cybersecurity threat intelligence team.
And Kamel says the fact that there's an army of hackers out there shouldn't be alarming. He says it's actually reassuring, because many of them are white hats, like Duncan Woodbury.
I've been in the car hacking industry for a long time. I was first hired when I was in high school at a company called Battelle, on the first and I think most prolific automotive red team in the history of the automotive sector.
Duncan and Kamel now work side by side at the car hacking village at DEF CON.
Welcome to DEF CON. Hello, DEF CON.
Teaching engineers, hobbyists, and even law enforcement how to spot digital weak points before criminals do. And they've been joined by others, like Ben Gardner, who brings the same vigilance to the trucking world.
So trucking is a big space. There's a whole lot of things moved across North America by truck. The cybersecurity program was started at the NMFTA roughly 7 years ago, just a little over.
It's easy to think of hackers as the problem, but these white hats, the ones working behind the scenes, see themselves a little differently. They see themselves as a kind of immune system, testing the defense so the body stays healthy. And they're doing it one line of code, one vulnerability, and one car at a time. The work can feel endless, because as cars get smarter, the risks pile up. That's the trade-off of the modern road. The industry has learned a lot since that Jeep hack a decade ago. And while no system is ever perfectly safe, there are more people watching and testing and building defenses than ever before. And for Kamel, who has now spent years inside that digital trench, he thinks the future of the car should look a little less like the next big upgrade and maybe a little more about getting back to something, well, simpler.
For me, if you ask me, my sweet spot would be like 2015, 16. Like, I've got Bluetooth, I've got good audio quality, I can unlock my car with the key fob. That's like my bare minimum amount of tech, and I won't really want anything too far after that.
Because sometimes the smartest technology is knowing when enough is enough. This is Click Here. Click Here is a production of Recorded Future News and PRX. Today's show was written and produced by Megan Dietrich, Sean Powers, Erica Gaida, and Zach Hirsch. It was edited by Karen Duffin and Lou Olkowski, and fact-checked by Darren Ankrum. Original music is by Ben Levingston, with additional music from Blue Dot Sessions. Our staff writer is Lucas Riley, and our illustrator is Megan Goff. Jesse Neiswanger and Jake Cook are our sound designers and engineers. Find us on X or Facebook at Click Here Show, or leave us a voice message at 661-5CH-TALK. Sometimes we'll turn those moments into reporting, sometimes into a conversation, and sometimes into a future story you'll hear on this show. We'll be back on Tuesday with an all-new episode of Click Here. Have a great weekend.